car update video. My 2015 WRX, nice and clean with all the pollen and everything. I wipe this car down about every other day, every 2 or 3 days, because I drive about 100 miles in it every day commuting to work, and it gets tons of bugs stuck on the front. And right now it's spring with all the pollen. But anyhow, this video is just a minor update to I think it's my first upgrade. No, actually my first upgrade on this car was a drop-in K&N filter. That's no big deal. You just open up the air box and yank out the stock filter and you drop in the K&N filter. No biggie. But my first, I guess, aftermarket upgrade is right here. It's a Raceseng or Raceseng, whatever you call the name of that company, Raceseng Ashiko translucent red shifter knob. And this thing weighs about 1.5 pounds. So it's about 1 pound heavier than the stock shifter, which weighed in, and I put them on my gram scale, my food scale, and the stock leather shifter, which was actually pretty heavy. I was surprised how heavy it was when I took it off. But that weighed in about 0.5. This weighed in, the Ashiko weighed in about 1.6. So it's got some weight to it. Heavier shifter. And what that's going to do for you, if you know physics, kind of like a pendulum, you know, the 0.5 on here is going to have a certain weight and feel to it when you're shifting. You add more weight to it, of course, it's going to add more weight to your shifts or your throws. And it actually tends to make the car go in and out of gear a lot easier. So instead of doing the bushing, the brass bushing modification to this car, this might be something, you know, a lot easier for somebody to do, is throw on a heavier shift knob, and, you know, it might help your shifts out. It definitely helped the shifting out in this car, in my opinion. Gives it a kind of a cool, you know, look, personalized with the red stitching in here and the WRX down there. And it's a translucent red. It's kind of hard to see in this light. What I'm probably going to do, though, it's a pretty tall shift knob compared to the stock, because the stock, I think, sits down about this high when you're shifting. So this gives you a little bit more height on your shifter. So even though I already have the STI short shift from the factory or from the dealer or whatever, I'm probably going to throw in a short shift rod to lower this down to about here. I'm looking at I think it's Boomba short shift. And there's another one, I can't remember which one it is, but I'll probably throw in a shorter shifter knob and drop this down a bit, because it did raise it up a little bit higher. I'm used to it now, and the shifting feels good, looks cool. So that's my first car modification, with more to come. I'm looking to do some, like I said, some lowering springs and some wheels or rims, and cold air intake in the wheel well, mounted in the wheel well. Gonna do exhaust from the turbo back, do a tune, and a couple of other things, but that's, you know, a little bit down the road. So although this is, in my opinion, more of a cosmetic upgrade, it does have some performance ramifications, just because it makes the shifting feel a little bit smoother. As you can hear, this is a very clunky shift box, but this tends to take some of the need or the force required to shift in and out of gear. It makes it a lot easier. And especially when you're coming out of gear, you can just, flick it, and the weight of the knob takes it right out of gear. You see it just popped in a second on its own. So that goes to show you how much weight this thing has. It smooths out the shifts quite a bit. So anyhow, update, car upgrade, Raceseng Ashiko shifter knob. It's about 1.5 pounds in weight, and that's my first upgrade. Later.